Honourable Member for Foni Bintang.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, most of the issues I want to highlight here are taken care of by my colleagues, but nevertheless, I'll be very brief and go straight to the point. Let me first go to the President's nomination of ministers. Madam Speaker, I believe that you have the three terms of government. That's the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. And we are all advocating that they should be independent. So this is why I have the belief that the President should nominate his ministers without coming to the Parliament for approval. But more so also, you have to know that if you are saying that all these organs should be independent, the President also should not have a hand in selecting National Assembly members. Because he also he has also nominated members here. So if you are saying that we should not involve in his appointment of minister, he should also not have any hand in nominating National Assembly members. So that is my stand. So, Madam Speaker, when you go to the judiciary, most of the members, as told you, Section 195 is talking about the renewal and retirement of the judges. Madam Speaker, it says that any judge who is retired will retire with your salary. And it further went to say that when you retire, when a sitting judge salary increases, the retiree also salary, his retirement benefit will be increasing. I think we should look at that very, very carefully. And I said, I want to be guided by the minister. If that is so, why is this specially for the judiciary, the judges? Why not the legislative? Why not the executive? And why not other public servants or civil servants? So I want to be guided by the minister. And went further to their budget even. They said their budget, when they bring their budget this year, the next year is not touched on their budget. Madam Speaker, they may bring this the budget and they included buildings and even buying of cars or so many things. And the next year they don't need that. Why would you leave that there? It's not misplacement of priorities. So I don't know why they put it there, but I'm totally not disagree, because we have to realize that our economy, we have a tax-based economy here. And we see the problems we have here. Even the National Assembly itself, we don't have what we want. Every year we don't have what we want. So why we are saying that we should not touch the budget of the judiciary? Madam Speaker, the other thing is the qualification of judges, Section 191. So really we need to Gambia, we want to have to Gambianize our judiciary system, right? But for me, I think we need also to consider, we need to open a room, a small room, for other countries to be participating in our judiciary system, especially the Commonwealth countries. Because if some of our also Gambians are practicing in Commonwealth countries, if they also close their room, what will happen to our people? And also, look, the sample, why I say this, because I can remember the office of the DPP, still now, they are advertising the position, I think, for almost a year now. They cannot be a Gambian. If I can be corrected by the minister, who is going to man this position, still now? So this is why I said we need to open, I think, room to include the Commonwealth countries. Madam Speaker, the other thing is Section 62. That's the specific rights. You call it the economic and social rights. Yes, it's a good thing. You need to have all those rights if possible. But my concern is the rights they mentioned there are numerous. Really, we need to have, but the economic realities, we have to look at the economic realities of the country. But if not, to me, we will start, when this constitution is enacted, we will start seeing people going to court. Because you may assume that a particular community may say, I don't have water, and I should have voted because it is their right. So people will end up going to court, and the government will have problems because the economy cannot sustain it. So I want them to include the economic realities of the country. So that's my concern. But I need to be guided by the minister also on that. And also we look at, there's a section that has mentioned a lot of commissions. Also I'm saying that we have to look at the economic realities. For example, we have seen the Human Rights Commission here when the commission is set for over a year, they don't have an office. They don't have staff because of the money, the economy. So we don't want to form commissions or to bring commissions while we cannot pay. So let's commissions, if we are forming commissions, we form commissions that we know that we can pay the commission members and it can be sustainable. So this is our concern. Madam Speaker, the other thing is Section 27 talks about public civil servant, full-time public civil servant shall not engage in gainful employment. Madam Speaker, when you look at this, Madam Speaker, I think we want to make some of our institutions very vulnerable or handicapped. A member has mentioned here, you go to university, most of the lecturers, especially the law schools, are lawyers and are working somewhere else. You go to the clinics, most of the doctors and nurses are working in private clinics or pharmacies. And we know that the African men are earning. So if you want to bring that, most of these people will leave the public service and go to private service. And also that will hamper the clinics or some of the institutions. So Madam Speaker, I think, okay, and also Section 147, the Speaker. They said the Speaker should be selected from outside. But my concern is, how can it be selected by outside? No process. Are you going to the street and bring somebody to take as Speaker? Or are you going to nominate? Or are you going to shortlist? Who's going to shortlist? How is the process? We need the process. We don't worry, but we need the process. We have to be guided by the process. Madam Speaker, the other concern is the chieftaincy. Because when you are elected, once elected, you are there for life. Madam Speaker, I think you are all talking here that when you overstay, you become a dictator. So my concern here is, if somebody is elected and is there for life, he will do whatever he wants because we know that nobody will challenge me on my position. So I need to be guided. And I want, if possible, let them be elected as national as the president and other people. Every 5 years, let your people gauge you and know whether we want you to lead them or not. So that also. And Madam Speaker, clause 7.3, the supremacy of the court. Let me read that one. That any law that is inconsistent with the Constitution is void to the extent of, Section 3. The validity or legality of this Constitution is not subject to challenges by or before any court or other organ of the state. To my understanding, it is saying that when this draft Constitution became the Constitution of the Republic of Gambia, nobody should have right, whatever is here, should have right to challenge it in the courts. And we are talking of many rights here. So to me, I want to be guided by the minister also, please. We are very sorry, although you will come, the study of the process are not there, but anyway, this is the law. This is the procedures. We have to. Okay, and the other thing, Madam Speaker, we have to. Why I want to be clear on this issue is, we have to know that after all this process, this draft Constitution is going to a body, and that body will be responsible for interpretation and enforcement of this Constitution. So this is I want everything that is here be clear, so that everything should be clear to everybody. Because I don't want when this goes to that body, every time people will go in to the courts for interpretation. So, Madam Speaker, one thing I want to advise members and myself is that when you are voting for this constitution, let's vote on the basis of the merit and progressive nature of the contents of this draft. Not that the 1997 constitution is bad. It's not bad. And the campaign strategy, Madam Speaker, people are using can hamper the progress of this draft. Because some of them are using 1970s as kind of attaching it to a political party, which I think when it is done, this can sway the electorate to vote on political lines. And that is not our intention. This is a national document. This is not a political document. It doesn't belong to any political party. It belongs to the Gambian people. What we want is the progress of the Gambia. What is good for the Gambia? So I'm advising, because why I say this is, somebody called me yesterday and said, wonderful, I don't know him. He started talking about this constitution. I told me that this constitution, you know, Gambia and a party is being done. I tell him that you are convincing a wrong person then. You want to convince him, then you are convincing a wrong person. He said, well, I think it's Honda will come. I said, yes. Honda come of a party. He said, no, you know, you are reasonable. I said, you said I'm foolish, and you said I'm reasonable again. So you see, this is why I said we should vote not on political lines. We should not campaign not on political lines. Let us campaign on the merits and the progressive nature of this text. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Point of order.